Good evening. I greet every one of us today, and I want to believe that you have a blissful day, wonderful day. We give thanks to God who has preserved us for the past 15 days of this 2023. And of a truth, He has a plan for you, He has a plan for me this year. And just as I told us in our previous chats, that in this chat room this year, the Lord is going to raise up great men and women. So we are one among the people that God is raising in this year. So once again, I welcome you to our chat room. You are so privileged. You are so opportune. You are so amazing. You are so wonderful to be here. And this hour, I have something again to discuss with us. Something that will help us move forward until we get to where God wants us to be. So please welcome. And if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, I want you to do that now. And comment and share it with friends, share with colleagues, share with your mates. It's a good time. This hour, I have something that I want us to look at. And of course, we're talking on the principles all this while, how we can achieve and actualize and realize the reasons why God has brought us thus far into this year 2023. And today I want to look at the character, and I will be discussing on Daniel principle for achievements. Daniel principle for achievements. And of course, we'll be hearing about this man, Daniel. He's been a unique man. In fact, I'm interested on this man. He's a king. And anytime you listen to Daniel's, I listen to his achievements, I listen to the way God helped this man and what he went through with the help of God. He was able to come out with a testimony. You will come out this year with testimonies. I say you, I'm talking to you. You have a testimony. So as we'll be discussing, we are going to look at what he did to actually steer him up and spring him up to the level where we are reading about him. I would like to read in the scripture, the Bible, this moment, before I now dive into what we have. In Daniel chapter 1, I read in verse 8. But Daniel proposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portions of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore, he requested of the prince of eunuchs that he might not defile himself. You see that man, Daniel, he decided. He was a decisive man. He was a man that made up his mind never to join the multitude to do the wrong. He then decided that he will not defile his conscience. He will not defile his mind. He will never compromise with what he saw. He was an eyesore. And by the Spirit of God in him, he knew that the kind of food, delicacies that was dropped on the table for them to eat wasn't so pure, clean enough. It was a food that would damn their souls, the food that would bring them down. And Daniel himself made up his mind that he will not. Look at that decision. That singular decisions bring the hand of God upon his life. Look at what is in verse 20. Verse 20, he said, and in all matters of wisdom and understanding, that the king inquired of them. He found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. A time of comparisons, a time of checking up the people that eat defiled food, the people that compromise their faith, the people that defile their mind. A time came that the great man, the principal of that great institution, gathered all of them to find out, to check up with them from what they have been given and how far they have attained. And he discovered that this Daniel and his friends that made up their minds and never to compromise, that made up their minds and never to defile their mind, defile themselves with that dainties, with that delicacies, with that idolatrous food, demonized food. And the king discovered that these people were far, far and more better than their equals. Why? Because the Lord was with them. This year, you need to make up your mind. A lot of things that will coming your way to sway you away from faith, to make you join the multitudes and feel that all the multitudes are good and the best. No, live your own personal life. Know that God has a purpose for you, and your purpose is quite different from others. So there's no reasons why you should join the multitudes and defile your conscience. Destroy it yourself. Do what? Make up your mind and climb up with this man, Daniel. Now, see what Daniel did in chapter 5 of the same Daniel. Look at what Daniel did. Okay, let's read chapter 6. In chapter 6, in verse 3, the Bible says, then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and the princes because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him above, to set him over the whole realm of the entire nations. You see, when God is with you, no one can bring you down. Because God was with Daniel, and the king himself saw that this man possessed an excellent spirit. He now decided that he's going to bring him up, he's going to promote him. Promotion comes from above, not man. So if you live your life this year, if you are going to follow the principle of Daniel, you are going to get a very high speed of promotion in your place of work. And if you are going to use the principle of Daniel principle, your business this year will prosper. And if you're going to join and take this principle, Daniel principle, your ministry will expand. Your academic will be better. Your health will be better. So let's look at this principle that Daniel himself used. So you need Daniel principle to create history in this life. You need Daniel principle to attain great things in this life. You need Daniel principle to get to the high echelons of life this year. You need Daniel principle in order to succeed in life this year. You need Daniel principle even in your ministry, in all realms, ramifications, every areas of your life. Applied this Daniel principle. You have a testimony. So you need this. Daniel becomes so outstanding in life. He had an extraordinary character and lifestyle. In fact, he is the model of pathfinder for achievements. Follow Daniel, you get great achievements. So he was a pathfinder. He set a pace for others to follow. He set a template. See him, the model. He set no one else. So he said that for great achievements, his life spells out attributes of success and achievements. Now let's look at the spelling of his name to discover this principle and the character and attributes that Daniel possessed that brought him so high, that make him so outstanding, that make him overcomer, that make him that make the king so attached to him. See Daniel, the first letter in Daniel, D. Daniel was dependable. You know why some people will not succeed in life? Because they are not dependable. They are not straightforward. They are not trustworthy. People cannot trust them. In their places of work, they can't trust them. At home, they can't trust them. In business, they cannot depend on them. And once you are not dependable, that something could be committed into your hands, and that depending on you, unless we know him, he will do it. Remember what Daniel said. He said he wouldn't want a king to have damage. And the king, because of this mindset, the king was so interested in Daniel. So this year, if you want to succeed, if you want to get to the top and create history for yourself and get great achievements, you must follow Daniel principle. What is it? Dependability. D. Daniel was determined. You cannot, you cannot escape. You cannot stay away from such delicacies without determination. He was determined in his mind, determined in his heart. Determination was in his blood vein. He could feel it. I have made up my mind, and he purposed in his heart. He determined in his heart. So determination would pave way for you to be outstanding this year. Not only that, D. Daniel was disciplined. Now, look at his life. All through, discipline in every angle. Discipline in his prayer commitments. He has a principle of praying 3 times in a day. And he took discipline, or he takes discipline for an individual to stick to that principle, especially in the society where we live now. Rat race, run here and there. People are given to changes, measurable changes. But Daniel, he said, no, this is the way out there for me. And he disciplined himself. Discipline himself spiritually. Discipline himself in the choice of companions. Discipline himself on what he eats and what to drink. Discipline himself and where to go out and when to come in. Discipline himself in all areas. And because of that discipline, he was able to achieve great things. So this year, you need discipline also. Daniel was decisive. His decisions was not tampered with. And he said, I have decided, I purpose in my heart. That was a game of the mind. He took that decision without compromising with any other. Nobody could bend him down. No situation could change him. He made up his mind, I will not. And he purposed. And you know why? because he knew the spirit that was in him, an excellent spirit was in him. And because of that, he decided that he will not do anything else that affect that rapport he had with great God. So this year, be decisive. Don't allow people to take decision for you. Don't allow people to take decision for you. Some people allow people to take decision for them. And people will use to achieve their goals, use to achieve their purpose. Why? Because you cannot take decision of your own. Students, take decision of your own. Man, take decision of your own. Woman, decide on your own. So Daniel, apart from that, he was devoted. He devoted his time. He devoted his talents. He devoted his mind. And because of this, we need this principle. What are they? Dependability, determinations, discipline, decisions, and devotions. And then you are good to go. That's number one. Let's look at A a principle in Daniel. Daniel, you can see Daniel. Daniel was a man with aspiration. Now, he aspired for greater heights. So you have to learn, you need to know that without aspirations, purposes will not be achieved. See where you are, see where you ought to be. Then let something inside of you steer you up, aspired. Just see yourself be aspiring, aspired, great ambition to get something done, aspired for something new, aspire for something great, aspire for big dreams. That means dream big. Aspire for joy and happiness. Aspire for something that gives you satisfactions. Aspire for them. And not only aspirations, Daniel was assured. He was assured himself of success. He assured, there was that confidence in him, assured himself of achievements. You see, in Daniel, he was adapt to environmental changes, economical changes. And look at when he got to Babylon. You need to study the environment. You need to observe the environment. You need to see the rapid change within the scope of that environment. Now do what? Adapt to make sure that you make something happen. There are some of us that were not ready to adapt. Look at the society we live today. The society have changed. The work environment have changed. Lives have changed. Health pattern has changed. And because of what? We are living in a technological society which has squished the whole world to a small global village. And yet, some of us is old school. We are not ready to change and flow with the technology. So what do you need to do? Adapt to the new technology. Adapt to the new health system. Adapt to the new work environments. You have been doing business. Business is not as usual. Things have changed. See, a lot of people don't need shop for business. They move their business to internet, and they're operating e-commerce. And some people are still running for money for shop, and they do more business than people having shop. So why not try to adapt to the environment? Daniel adapts to the environment. And look, let me tell you, especially with business people, and some of us are doing business, and you are still doing business in the old archaic system and archaic way. And when the societies and the community of business have changed, there's some new things coming in into business environments that makes your customers to be amused. So what do you need to do? Amuse your customer. Make something happen, something new, something new. And then you'll be able to get up and then fit in and then get up and then make sure something happens. So do what? Aspire this year. Do what? Adapt. Now, we are looking at Daniel principle. Daniel, A, N, and what? A, N. Let's look at this man in his name, Daniel. N. You see that N there stands noble in character, uncompromising. His character was pure. So there was that nobility of character in Daniel. This showing or having qualities of high morals and dignity. Without that nobility, he would have joined the multitude and chew whatever thing they were chewing. But that's nobility in character that shows a very high rate of moral standards, moral qualities, dignity. He never wanted to do compromise that. So you need a noble character this time. Let's leave the past and come back to our senses now and think on what you are going to do with your own character, your own morality, your own dignity. You can gather it. God will help us to gather our broken pieces. And whatever has happened in the past, throw it off. And then look at Daniel and follow his patterns, nobility in character. Now, in Daniel, how did Daniel succeed? And how are we going to succeed this year? If you are going to succeed, you cannot succeed without I. And what is I? Innovative. Think outside box. Have what you call an insightful. Be insightful. See beyond what you are seeing now. Insightful. And on that, you must be inspired. There are things you need to do this year to be inspired. Inspired yourself. You are doing business, inspired your customer. You are doing something, inspired others. And show that an incredible life. Innovations. Things are changing. A lot are changing. Life are changing. So think of something new. Perhaps you are doing something, you'll be doing that in that same way. If you continue to do the thing the same way you've been doing, you still get the same result. So why not change and bring in new idea? You are teaching. Think on new method of teaching. Preaching. Think on new method of preaching. Changed. Innovative. Inspired. You can inspire yourself with material you read. You can inspire yourselves with others who have already achieved what you are doing. There are so many things, so many ways you can use to inspire yourselves. So do what? Look for I in Daniel principle and craft it and run along with it. I hope you are enjoying. Now, the incredible. That is the extraordinary good. Whatever thing you are doing, look for a better way to do that thing more better and in an extraordinary way. And when people look for someone else that can do that, cannot find, and you'll be looked for. That's an incredible person. That's a person that can do it in extraordinary way. You are perfect. What do you look at? Again in Daniel, we look at Daniel E. How do you say Daniel there in E? In that pattern, in that principle, what do you see it? You see an exceptional person, exceptional lifestyle, exceptional character, exceptional pattern of way, pattern of life, exceptional lifestyle. You can see Daniel there, Daniel E. He was an exceptional being. You can see Daniel there, you can see him an excellence in character. This character place him above his equal. That excellent spirit that make the king sought for him. They have found a man that have an excellent spirit, whose God is in him. That makes him different from others. So this year, if you are going to amount to anything, you must be an exceptional. Exceptional in character. Exceptional in the way of doing things. Exceptional in your office. Do things that you never do. That your boss will look for someone to fit into your position and he will not find. Be an exceptional person. You are teaching in school. Teach in such a way that when you step out, you know that someone has left that place. An exceptional. Whatever you are doing, bring it to bear. This exceptionality. Work on it. Work on yourselves to be an exception. Daniel worked on himself day and night and shaped himself and pruned himself to be different from others. And it was indeed, he has an excellent character. That the king, when he compared, look at when the king compared them, there were so many indices that the king looked at before he now came to that conclusion that this person and his companion were more better than his friend for good 10 good times. There was many indices. That means that they were extraordinary people. They did extraordinarily. They were an exceptional. They possess something that others did not possess. That's what? An excellent spirit was found, even when the king was confused. Let's study. At where you are working, do more research on that work they're doing. That even your boss will be looking for you. People will be looking for you because you have an excellent spirit. And that is there and then you can do what? You can rise. Promotion lies ahead of that exceptionality. Promotion lies above, ahead that exceptional. It lies above that excellent spirit. So do what? Followed the patterns and the principle of Daniel this year. Perhaps your boss have been complaining. Even the business you are doing, people are almost leaving the business. The school they are running, people are almost leaving. Your ministry, you already packed it up. Why? Because you didn't possess this. Sit down, study yourself, look at yourself, think on what to do, shape yourself, model yourself, and make yourself to be valuable. Make yourself important. Make yourself exceptional. Make yourself possess this character of this excellent spirit. And I tell you, this year, the sky is going to be your limits. You are going to take a different flight to this zone, to the horizon that people will begin to think, is it this person I knew last year because I changed person? You are an exceptional person this year. The spirit of excellence is in you. And because of this, greater is he that is in you this year. And you are mounting up with wings. And you are going to move with eagles. So be ready. Get ready this year. Now, apart from that, the last letter in Daniel is what? L. What is that principle of L? Daniel had a lion-hearted. Lion-hearted. He was a lion-hearted. Think of, he got a point in his life, despite the fact that he had been praying, and God would have intercepted that the king would take him, the people would not take him to the lion's den. But God allowed him because that man summed up courage. He was courageous. And courage is one of the things you need. And that's what we mean by lion-hearted. You made up your mind that you are going to do that thing. You want to do business? Go ahead. You want to exploit? Don't wait for anybody. Exploit. You want to go extra miles? Do what? Don't wait again. Lion-hearted. You know, lions, the king of the forest. I made up my mind. I will go. And God keeps telling Joshua that if he's going to make it, he must be courageous. So this year, lions is a courageous animals. He is immovable, unintimidated. Nothing intimidates you. Whatever thing that confronts you, you can withstand. That's a lion-hearted person, a lion-hearted brother, a lion-hearted sister, a lion-hearted man, and you are courageous, moved, moved. And that means a courageous person is ready to take risk. Some people would have been great, would have succeeded in life, but because there was no courage, they're ready to take risk. They're ready to step out. My friend, this year, step out, explode, exploit, and make it. Daniel was lively. Look at the people around him. He was full of life. He was full of life. A lively person. Toast him this way, you can see him smiling. You can see him ready to go into lion's den. He was not sick because of lion's den. So this year, that's why I have to come here in this special chat center to chat with you, to discuss with you that someone has already created a path for us to follow. He has made this pathfinder, and that is Daniel. So this year, if you are going to make it, this year, if you are going to succeed, this year, if you are going to achieve great things in lives, this year, if you are going to create impacts, this year, if you want your name, your history to be written, this year, my friend, if you want to be happy, do what? Let's join this work on Daniel Principle for Achievements. And I promise you, see you there at the top, and you will make it. So, good to be there. Good to be part of this today. Please don't fail coming to this chat center. A lot for us this year. Subscribe. Subscribe. Share it. Comment. Happy listening. God bless you.